What are the three most important things as a buyer you should be asking your agent about the buyer's broker agreement? And as a buyer's agent, what you should be prepared to answer? If we haven't met yet, my name's Alisia Krastel. I've been a real estate agent in Maryland for 17 years, and we help real estate agents and clients get results through care and integrity and have an amazing life along the way. If that is the vibe you're going for, make sure you hit subscribe and we will help you grow along the way. In this video, we're going to go through everything from cancellation policies to the compensation offered and the services offered. And at the end, I'm going to tell you about the one thing that everyone needs to keep their eyeball on so the client makes more money. We're going to assume this is happening either over a Zoom consultation or in-person consultation with an agent. Not a hurry up and sign this so we can quick see the house kind of deal. That's how things get messy. So at that initial consultation, you're going to talk about the services. The number one question is going to be, well, what are you going to do for me, right? As the buyer, what are you going to actually make happen for me? Why do we need to sign this? The agreement that you sign, which is nationwide, no agent should be showing a buyer a house without a signed representation. It's not our choice, it's required. It allows the agent to do services for you, not just show homes. They're going to do everything from going back and looking at stats. They're going to be using all of their relationships to help find properties. They're going to be using their network to help get offers accepted. Whatever the services are, if they include this buyer's consultation that we're at right now, where we're getting to know up front, where it might take a little bit more time, like we're not signing these like on the way to the house, right? We're not signing these like just so you can quick show a house. We're getting to know what exactly you need and crafting a plan to help you get it. That takes time. So the time that you spend up front with this, getting to know your agent and figuring out what you want and how that could all the puzzle pieces could put together, that takes time. But the time that you spend now is going to help you in the long run. The services are going to go way beyond just opening a door for you to see a house if you're the buyer. And the buyer's agent is going to use their market knowledge, their experience that they've had so far, and their network. So if they have a good reputation, it's really important because that can help them get offers accepted. If they have a great reputation, it can also help them find out about houses if they're well connected. And they're also going to be able to pull data from the market previously to show you what it looks like. And so you don't have to take our word for it. Like you can actually see these houses sold for this. There was a seller credit for this house or there wasn't. This area, they're going to give you a good idea of what's going on in your little piece of the market so you are armed with a lot of information and can write a really solid offer going into it. Number two is compensation. What is the exact compensation? Not just the percentage or flat fee that the agent is charging, but also are there any admin fees? Are there any flat fees there, or are there any marketing fees that I'll have to pay? Krastel Home Team charges a commission. We do not charge any admin fees or marketing fees on top of that. We pay for photography, we pay for drones, we pay for all of the marketing that we do on the agent's dime. It is not anything additional that you have to pay. There is going to be a section that says compensation, and it could be percentage, but there will also be a line if there is an additional fee, you want to check for that. And also if you have it as a buyer's agent, you want to point that out so everyone is very clear on the understanding of what's happening. For compensation right now, if you're signing a document that says the buyer is responsible for X amount, that truly means that the buyer is going to be responsible for paying that compensation in the event that they cannot get it negotiated into the offer, that the seller is not willing. There are options for that, and the buyer's agent will explain it to you, but at the end of the day, that is the amount that the buyer is willing to pay for compensation. I think sometimes agents assume that the buyers know this, but the compensation is due at closing. So you will know before you write an offer or when you write an offer, before it's accepted, what all of that money looks like before signing everything off and going under contract. Let me know in the comments if you are an agent or if you're a buyer in the real estate market. And what state are you watching from? The third biggest one is, what's the cancellation policy? Can I get out as the buyer of this contract? And what does that look like? Is there a term or amount of days that is set for this buyer's agreement that I have to see through? 60, 90 days, 6 months, a year, whatever it is. You need to know the exact time period and also what happens if you break the contract prior to then. It is written into these documents exactly what will happen. So you want to look and see, okay, if I cancel, one, it's probably going to have to be in writing. So for us, it has to be in writing and we cancel it that day. Are there any fees if I do cancel? we have no fees. We never charge anyone to cancel a contract for our buyer agreements because we feel like if you don't want to work with us, then you'd be the first one, to break one. But also, we don't want to hold you to anything, and we don't care if it ends up costing us some money for marketing or whatever. We're okay with it because we're pretty good at judge doing these buyers consultations ahead of time to make sure that we're the good fit. Look out for where some say it will automatically expire at X date. That's what ours say. It'll automatically expire. If you do nothing else, this contract's going to expire at this date. But if you do cancel, it has to be in writing with no fees. Or do they do have fees? And what are they? Are they fees for just breaking the contract period before that date? Or is it you can break it within a certain amount of time and then you don't have to pay? Or is it you have to be reimbursed for a certain amount of money? Is there a charge? You want to know exactly what's going on in that paragraph about the cancellation process of that contract. It's a caveat on the term of time. There you are going to see agents who are going to do one-day showings, one property showings. We don't do that because we want to do this work up front with you. We want to invest in the buyer first. And some agents decide to do this and some don't. Neither is wrong, so don't get scared away with either agent that you have. If an agent signs up for one property, you're basing whether you want to work with them off of them just showing you a property. Highly suggest sitting down with an agent and understanding, feeling one, is this person have high integrity and do they really truly care about me? And do they know the market? And are they showing me that they know the market? Any of us can unlock a door. So if you're basing everything off of someone unlocking the door and showing a property, you're missing 90% of what goes on behind the scenes in the transaction. If you have a one-day, one-house term, then you still want to look at all of these things. What compensation is due? What does a cancellation look like? All of the terms, you still want to look at all of those things, even if it's a one property or one-day showing. The last piece of the cancellation part is you want to look and see, if we do cancel, can I go buy a house with another agent? Do I have to wait a certain amount of time? Because some of the agreements will say you have to wait a week, or you can't buy that property that you saw with the agent with another agent. Otherwise, you might owe 2 compensations to 2 different agents that you have agreements with. I can't overexpress the amount of trust that you have to feel with the agent, and the buyer's agents are actually interviewing the buyers too to make sure that they're a good fit, because there's a lot that goes into this. There's a lot of liability on the buyer's agent, and we want to invest time with people who we know we can help and that we trust each other to help make this dream come true. So what's that number one thing that you need to keep your eyeball on? And I will say it's for agent and it's for the buyer as well. And it's for the seller on the other side, but we're not concerned with the seller at this point. It is the net amount that's leaving your pocket. Wherever the compensations come from, wherever the offer lands, if you get a seller credit, which I have videos about if you want to watch seller credits, and I have explained them, all of the money and things and charges, what does it look like at the end of day to have what money is coming out of your pocket? Because people can rearrange things and make it look great. I want to know, and I want you to know, what money is leaving your pocket. And that is essentially the net offer to the seller. And the seller is going to base what they are going to decide from off of your net offer. As long as you know the final amount, the money, then we can backtrack everything else and see where it's coming from. But if you're not focused on the bottom number at the end of the day, it's very easy to get distracted in all the things going on in a transaction and an offer. Let me know if this video helped you feel a little bit more empowered with what's going on, and give me a like and ask any questions below. I read all my comments and I do my best to answer every single one of them.